I went to my sister went to the No Kings Pride, march. Out there. You feel, after a while being out there, I don't really do marches, and my sister took me to another one that was, like a suicide march, suicide awareness march or something. I think it's kind of a Florida thing to do marches, I guess. Yeah, we walked around down there. Hollywood Boulevard. Had the helicopters. Some Democrat lady was down there, and just, I don't know, the CBN News or whatever the fuck, they went down there too. Yeah, we marched, we chanted, we did the things. You feel a sense of connection with people, and a sense of pride, marching and talking about what you want, but those protests don't really get anything done, really, outside of a kind of, I'm here, I'm doing something, I exist, we take this serious, it's the No Kings March, so it's like anti-Trump, and I mean, cartoonishly, there was a Trumpy driving circles around Boulevard, giving us the finger, and I guess it's that shit that you gotta own the lib, you gotta trigger them, so. And there are people laughing about it, and there's a dude in an inflatable Trump suit, and people dressed up like Pokemon. It was a real who's who. A lot of women, I guess. I mean, there were some guys, lots of guys, enough guys, there. And I realized a lot of these people were older. There was a really funny moment that did make me giggle when the lady was like, "Will they take away Social Security?" And no millennial fucking said anything, and all the older people, Gen Xers, I guess they would be now, way older, fucking, the only ones chanting, like, like, we don't let them take away our Social Security, or whatever. Just the millennials, no, dude, he's gonna take your Social Security, like, I don't. The right-wing fantasy of having a single dictator or authoritarian guy because they were raised authoritarian. Daddy told them what to do, so they have daddy issues, and they don't care if the guy's a good guy or a scumbag, as long as somebody's in control. It doesn't have to be a good person. They don't have to have any standards or values of any kind. Just like the church I ran about. No values at all, but somehow they need to be in control, but also they don't have any values. Like, great. Yeah, that's the guy you want. A deranged tyrant. Fucking, that'll do anything for power. Like, whatever, man. It was fun. It was a great experience. The, other side of things is I had this weird flashback to talking to Anal Eating Mummy God at Papa John's, where he was telling me, basically, don't get angry and don't do, like, hatred stuff, basically. And I started laughing. I was like, oh, I'm neurologically programmed to do hatred stuff. I was like, hatred's my base emotion. That's like the one thing I feel. And then we got into how hatred's a catch-all for unprocessed emotions. And I just shrugged it off. But it is a fact. Hatred is a catch-all for unprocessed emotions. When somebody has a lot of anger or hatred, they have a lot of unprocessed emotions. And it's kind of easy to just process it into anger. Because anger kind of has a half-life where if you're punching something or you're taking it out in a healthy way, anger kind of devolves, That's why it's probably one of the most easiest emotions to express. It's the most authentic. One of the guy said anger is one of the most authentic. I don't know if it's the most authentic, but yeah. Yeah, I had and the other side is, I now remember Blondie setting this up, and then him going on about, like, the shit that kills me is the fact that they made me stupid and then tricked me into agreeing to a bunch of bullshit. That is something that I believe is just unforgivable on every fucking level, and I think it's another part of why my shadow self has a big part of inaction. Is they tricked me into doing it. Okay, and I'm not one of these idiots at the church that's like, well, you tricked me, therefore I have to do it. Like, I don't even like I said, if I was king of the world, speak plainly or be executed. Like, I just, these people are hilarious because there's a thing is smart people outsmart each other is the fucking thing, and it's a literal game of people. Like basically heist scenarios where two smart people are constantly outthinking one another. And it just gets ridiculous at some point. And that's what these people do. Everything's a kind of WrestleMania, kind of like trying to muscle the other person in socially. And because they're antisocial, because they drink Tetraled, antisocial behavior becomes a natural, becomes second nature to them to fucking manipulate language and twist words. Even, dude, it's the shit. Like, when I was at Papa John's, I remember Blondie kept fucking hitting me with word salads, and I was like, that is a delicious word salad you just served me. Now you're gonna say it to me plainly, and then he would just go, "Arr!" Because I'm not letting him get his way, okay? Like I said, dude, even when I was president, the amount of people who would speak sideways about everything. I remember this guy wanted Gaza. He wanted, like, the Gaza Strip. And he was like, oh, there's a small property out there by the coastline, and I want it. And he didn't say it was Gaza. He just said it was a small property by the coastline, which is misleading and lying. But it's okay to lie to the president, apparently. He's not allowed to correct you or call you on your bullshit. So, yeah. I don't... Trust me, the guy lied, and this was the thing. My brain's destroyed on heavy metals. I'm not allowed to think ever. I'm not allowed to process anything. And somehow I have to figure out this guy is full of shit. Yeah. This is how stupid people think. But yeah, this kept happening when I was president. I remember I implemented a ridiculous plan of, like, equal kind of left-wing, right-wing shit, where if the left wing got something, the right wing got something, but then I made it clear the left wing in this country has been losing for a long time, so they're going to get a bunch of free shit, and the right-wingers turned spiteful, and they wanted to stick it to the left-wingers, because we deserve it, we play dirty, we cheat at everything, and then we get what we want, and dude, shut up, you neurotic weirdo, you fucking control-issued bastard, okay? The issue with control and wanting to be like the lie of feeling safe is the Captain America Winter Soldier. Somebody will make you unsafe and then go, surrender to me, let me put you in a prison, and I'll keep you safe in the prison I create for you. My sister went on this thing talking about how men should have to protect women, blah, blah, blah. I was like, Nadia, if you go down that route, the only thing that's going to happen is some asshole's going to go, I need to put you in a prison in my basement to keep you safe. It's control. And this shit even happened when I was talking to the Memphis, because we were going over their contract, and this is before I got rid of their contract, but that dumb bitch Jasmine for some reason kept it when I told her to put it in the fucking fire. If it had been destroyed, they would have still been free after I was removed from presidency. This is what happens when you don't listen. Okay. But I was like, this isn't a contract of protection, it's a contract of control. The same way my surveillance contract that I'm under is not a contract of surveillance, but one of control. Like, the fact that these dickheads at their church can literally lie to people and say they're an investigative group when they're not, like, is one of the things that fucking kills me, but whatever, man. Fucking... I don't know, I can bitch about this, but dude, any president or politician with half a brain would read that and go, this is bullshit, we're passing laws about it, you're not doing that to people, shut the fuck up, get out, you stupid fucking, I'm sorry your dad raped you in the ass and you have control issues, get out of the courthouse now. My control issues, they cause every problem, they do, get out. Like, I just, whatever, man. Yeah. But, yeah, we got into this thing, and he was explaining to me, if you I've been letting hatred make all these videos, brother. I've made all the mistakes. I made all the mistakes. And I remember telling Anal Eating Mummy God I'd do that. I'll make all the fucking mistakes. Which is kind of fucked up. I need to stop believing that, because apparently my subconscious takes that as programming or whatever. I don't make all the mistakes. Sometimes I do get shit right when it's within reason. Yeah. But, yeah, they, like, once again, make him stupider so he can't outsmart us. Make him stupider so he can't outsmart us. Like, once again, if you did that to them, if you were just constantly poisoning them with heavy metals till they stop their shit, eventually, dude, they'd have a tizzy. You raped my wife and made her poison me! Dude, it would just be them screaming because they got fucked. Like I said, fucking, it's just, they're ridiculous behavior, but then they have a law, do unto others as they do to you, so it's okay for me to poison you with heavy metals. No! No! It's okay for me to do it, it's okay for you. It's just, okay. Like, the 2-year-old shit is what fucking kills me. It's the need to act like a 2-year-old no matter what. And somehow, for some reason, this retard wants to be in control. That's the shit that kills me, but whatever. The mind of a 2-year-old. And you wonder why everything's so bad in America and everything's so fucked up. There's a bunch of 2-year-olds that run everything, and in their brains, because they're willing to commit every atrocity known to man, murder, rape, kill, and destroy everything. They somehow earned it. They somehow deserve it. Like, whatever, man. Justice is a human construct. It's not something that exists in nature. When a deer gets its baby eaten by a wolf, there isn't some divine being that intervenes and beats the shit out of the wolf for eating the deer's baby. So, yeah. Fucking, I don't know how you're not supposed to get frustrated when you realize just how ridiculous and up and above and beyond these people went to fuck with me. From sideways language to constantly poisoning me with heavy metals to interfering with my internet illegally and then legally after that. Like, doing all the wrong things no matter what, and just, there's no level of too low they would not go. And I remembered this shit even when I was talking to Anal Eating Mummy God. I was like, you destroy, and this shit, Blondie and Anal Eating Mummy God, I remember this stupid fucking conversation with them where they were like, we got him, that's what happened, and that's who he is, that's why he signed the paper, that's who he is, it doesn't change anything if you poison him with heavy metals. And I just remember Blondie going on, and Anal, yeah, it doesn't. I was like, okay, so you guys would let me poison you with heavy metals until you developed Alzheimer's, and then if you signed stuff over, you'd be perfectly okay with it. And then there was this complete, I was, what? So you poison people with heavy metals for no reason. You just do it because you're weird. No. I was, okay, then stop doing it. No, we're not going to stop doing it. We're going to keep doing it. Why, if it doesn't do anything? You're just wasting time. And also, there are reasons you shouldn't do it, like dementia, and Alzheimer's, and ADD, and ADHD, and fucking OCD, and every mental disorder that ever has come up has been linked back to heavy metal poisoning. So you're just going around doing that to people for no reason. It doesn't actually work. You're not lying. And then Anal Eating Mummy God was, what? And then Blondie was, the president's not supposed to lie. I was like, well, he just told a fucking lie. He said heavy metal poisoning doesn't do anything. I just remember Blondie staring at me, and he was, it's good for you, it's good, and that's where Blondie was lying again. He's all about heavy metal poison, but remember when he was supposed to, I don't know what the fuck that shit was, supposed to be me or whatever the fuck, and Mary Bowberry tried to poison him, and then his mom poisoned him, and I got poisoned, and he called, starts telling me about how he got poisoned. You need to remember the crying and theatrics and him being a bitch is all, it's all vaudeville, it's all theater. I realized, when I was at Papa John's, there was this weird moment where I was like, so this guy reported a massive, remember, they deleted my mind. I didn't remember this shit. I was like, so this guy reported a massive human trafficking ring that had 300,000 people getting human trafficked through it. And some guy was having sex with babies, like 6,000 babies. And I was like, they're also every serial killer in America. They murder all these people. And then Blondie started quoting me the numbers of the amount of innocent people the church kills. Because I had that conversation with Anal Eaton Mummy God not before that, where I asked him about, I was like, all you gotta do is list all the good things the church does. I was like, that's it. And I was like, and they have to be more than the bad things. And it turns out they do a lot of bad things way more. Yeah. And Blondie started getting really upset about that because he called me self-righteous. He's the most self-righteous son of a bitch on the planet. Most self-righteous, and every member of this church for that matter. If they ever tell you they're a good person, you should probably laugh at them. Because they're lying. They're being self-righteous. Trust me. They're the furthest things from good people you could possibly be. But yeah, anyways, they tell me, and then he gets this smug look and this smirk, and then he's like, I can be the hero. And we had a back and forth about him saying that he could be the hero because he had completely destroyed my brain. I was retarded on heavy metals, and he won. That's how that works. That's what winning looks like. You just cheat at everything because you're a fucking loser and can't fucking handle it. And fucking, he was like, and fucking, and then he's like, I gotta make it your fault. And then he starts going on about how I'm gonna live long enough to see myself become the villain, which I guess is where we're at now. Because I have still extreme trauma, PTSD, borderline personality disorder, and all these mental disorders from what these people did, and they have zero accountability in it. The kind of people who get a woman pregnant and then run out the door. Or the kind of person that gets a woman pregnant and then tells the woman, you have to be responsible and marry me now, because I got you pregnant. I win. That's how that works. I set this entire thing up because I'm a loser. And it's in my blood to be a loser. Anyways, so I think full circle, like I said, Blondie can go ahead and do it because the only thing I care about is the justice for these people who don't need to be in fucking bondage, and Blondie will be out here fucking everything up. Lying fascism! Fascism is good! Fascism! I can't wait to turn into Nazi! I'd picture him freeing all the women, all 300,000 of them to get back into America. They make Blondie president, and then he just immediately plunges us into World War III. He just immediately fucking fascism out the ass. All the rich people, like he said, he won't give me Mary Bowberry because she's rich. So he puts all the rich people in the bubble, and then in the middle of the rich people bubble is him, the blonde-haired blue eyes, the non-blonde-haired blue eyes on the outside, who are the loser citizens, and then everybody else is sent to war. So all the people he got out of human trafficking, right to war. They're all fucking going out there and getting fucking killed immediately. They don't survive anything. There is no winning. And he's like, fascism is amazing. I love it. I'm in control. I have control. That's what I wanted. Control. I was raped in the ass. I have control issues. I shouldn't be in charge of anything ever. I'm fucking retarded. And just fucking whatever, man. I think if it is true I'm supposed to get a wish, I think the ultimate wish would be you have to poison fucking Blondie with heavy metals until his IQ significantly drops. And there are obvious neurotic issues. I remember this video talking about when people get overexposure to certain chemicals like arsenic and heavy metals, if they put their hands out in front of them, their wrists fall down because the neurons don't work. Until shit like that happens to him. And then he can have my glory. Yeah, once he's completely gone, and even if he was a leader, he still wouldn't be able to think of anything because his brain would be destroyed. I think that's what I'm going to wish for, and I know it's an act of spite, but I'm doing this for me. And I mean, everybody else will be free, and I think it'll be hilarious to watch him try to do a news interview, and then being like, yeah, and he'll be like, I don't remember, that Bobby guy, I hate him, Like, sir, is there something wrong with you? No, there's nothing wrong with him. He just has all the signs of heavy metal poisoning. After all, it doesn't do anything to you, right? Just picture that stupid shit. Like, fucking, Bobby, you just want to fill fucking Blondie with heavy metals until he's barely functioning? Yes. Just the horror. No. You're not the victim of anything. You're a bastard. You're a bastard with no values, no morals, and you have no value as a person. So us poisoning you is like fucking killing a fucking rat that's been stealing food out of the pantry. You're fucking garbage, dude. Like, yeah. I mean, that's how I feel, is just genuine fucking hatred, and I think it'll be funny for me to waste that wish on something malicious and stupid. Maybe I should just wish all the church leaders have to be poisoned until they're retarded with heavy metals. I think it'd be funny, because some of these guys are speed runners, and suddenly they're, like, looking down. When I was so far gone on heavy metals, I'll tell you this, I had to look down at the controller that was in my hands playing the Xbox to press buttons. When I was beating Blondie in Call of Duty, I was so far gone that I had to look at the controller and then look at the screen, and I would break down and cry because I didn't know why I was crying. I used to be pretty good at processing my emotions. I lost that ability because as you're poisoning somebody with heavy metals, you're killing their neurons, so they're slowly becoming less functional. They're losing cognitive skills as they're being poisoned with heavy metals. Okay, God